Wow, what a trip. Let me get out of this getup. I can't believe how complicated it is to make these little things the way they are. And they do it all by steps, by hand, without computers or motors. They power all those machines with sweat and muscle power. I'm so excited that as soon as I'm a bar mitzvah, I'll have a chance to wear these beauties. But I still need to know more. I need to find out more about these mysterious parchments, and why there are so many, and more about the 3-arm and the 4-arm shins. I'm off again to see the rabbi.
Now that we have the tefillin on our head and on our arm, the question is, why do we put it there? And the Torah, the easy answer is that the Torah says, you shall put these words as a sign upon your hand and between your eyes. So that's the easy answer. Many of the rabbis focus on what are they pointing towards or what are they close to, and the arm tefillin is close to the heart, pointing towards the heart, and the head tefillin is close to the mind. And so when we wear tefillin on our arms and on our heads, we are saying that we shall remember and think of God all the time, and God shall be close to our hearts and on our minds, as we'll discuss about the mitzvot, the commandments as well. Now let's take a closer look at the tefillin I am wearing. There are 2 boxes here, one on the arm or the muscle, and one on the head. Each one is called a bayit, or house, and inside each of these houses are small parchments or Torah scrolls written by scribes. We saw one in a mezuzah, we saw one in the Torah, and now we're going to take a closer look at the inside of a tefillin. What's interesting is, I always say, is that what makes these special is what's inside of it, that you usually or rarely ever see. There's no reason you would ever open up tefillin. It's a gift that you actually never open. And what makes it special is what's inside, and once they're open, you can't wear them. So I have some tefillin here that I'm wearing. The arm tefillin has only one section inside of it, but if you look closely at a head tefillin, you'll actually find 4 sections, each section with its own special parchment. I have on this table, actually, a couple of open tefillin. I've got an arm tefillin with 1 section, and a head tefillin with 4 sections, and I even have their parchments written by a Torah scribe, a sofer. I just wish I had larger ones. Much better now. Let's open these up. And let's take a look at these scrolls. As I mentioned, there are 4 Torah scrolls in the head tefillin and 1 scroll in the arm tefillin. The reason for 4 is that there are 4 times in the Torah that it is mentioned, you shall put these words as a sign upon your hand and between your eyes. So what we have in the tefillin are 4 Torah scrolls that mention these exact words. Just as a mezuzah mentions that you shall put these words on your doorposts of your home, here we have the 4 mentions in the Torah. So you'll see the head and the 4 scrolls, including the Shema and V'ahavta, and what do we have in the arm tefillin but a much longer scroll? It's only 1 scroll, but this 1 scroll contains all 4 verses, one after the other. So when we wear tefillin, we are wearing God's Word. On the mezuzah, you notice that there is a shin, and on most mezuzot there are shins, and the shin we talked about stands for Shaddai, another name of God, not the Shema, which is inside of the mezuzah. But if you look closely at the head tefillin, you'll also find shins. We should take a closer look. So on one side of the tefillin, we have a shin, and then if we turn the tefillin to the other side, Now look closely at the shin. If we look at the other side of the tefillin, you'll see another shin, but there's something different about this shin. And if you look closely, you'll notice that instead of having a 3-pronged shin, you have a 4-pronged shin. And the rabbis, of course, make a commentary on this. Why do we have 2 shins, 1 3-prongs and 1 4-prongs? And it goes like this. The rabbis love to add up to the number 613. That is the mitzvot, or commandments of God. 248 positive commandments and 365 negative commandments. So every time the rabbis do any math, they like to add up to 613. How do they do this with the 2 shins? Well, let's start off with that each letter in the Hebrew alphabet has a certain numerical value. Aleph is 1, and Bet is 2, and Gimel is 3, just as A would be 1, and B would be 2, and C would be 3. After 10, it goes 10, 20, 30, then 100, 200, 300, and 400. The shin, the value of shin is 300. 2 shins, 1 shin and the other shin, equals 600. Now we're 13 away. If you take the 2 shins, add them, put them together in a word, shin and shin spell the word shesh, which equals 6. So now we have 606. So what number are we missing? 7. How do we get the 7? The prongs of the shin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 6 plus 600 is 613. So when we wear the tefillin, we think of the 613 commandments. We have the 613 commandments close to our hearts and on our minds. In a way, we're wearing the 613 commandments, the mitzvot of God.
Thanks again, Rabbi. Now I almost know everything about tefillin. I do have a few more questions, though. Can I ask a few dumb questions?
No comment.
No, really, Rabbi. You mentioned the word Shaddai. Can you tell me more about it?
I'm glad you asked that question. We can find the Shaddai on the hand, the arm knot, and the head knot. Shin, Daled, Yud, together spelling Shaddai.
Great answer, Rabbi. I got it now. Okay, but how does it feel when you wear tefillin all day?
I feel that the tefillin give me superpowers.
Surely you must be kidding.
I'm not kidding, and don't call me Shirley.
Well, okay then. Show me your superpowers.
Sorry, I'm not going to answer that.
Please, please, please. Tell me how you can get superpowers.
That's confidential information. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Okay, I give up. Thanks for everything.